Hello guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements, and in front of me is the Nasdaq 100 futures chart. Now yesterday we had earnings from Microsoft, Apple and Google, and as I mentioned previously that I was expecting these companies to come out with outstanding numbers, and that's exactly what happened last night. We saw some mind-blowing figures, especially from the likes of Apple and Microsoft, for example. But going into today's trading session, Apple is down 2.5%, Microsoft is flat, Google is up roughly 2% at this moment in time. But this was something that I did forecast. I said that yes, you would expect these stocks to rally 5 to 10% on this earnings that we saw last night, on the figures that we were shown last night. But a lot of this upside movement was already priced in prior to the earnings coming out after the bell during yesterday's trading session. So that's why we've seen pretty much flat, if not downside movements in the majority of these stocks, is because we've already seen this huge run up dating back to May. In fact, you could even argue we've actually had a huge run up since May 2020. So a lot of the good news was already priced in, which is understandable. And we see the Nasdaq 100 trading slightly in the green during today's session, just below that 15,000 area at 14,945. Where do I anticipate for the Nasdaq 100 to go next? Well, I do believe a correction is on the horizon here, whether we get it next week or the week after. One thing that I will say is that we got the Fed speaking today, so any talks of tapering that could spark a sell-off here in the tech stocks. But tonight we have the likes of Facebook reporting earnings. I'm expecting yet again outstanding numbers. Facebook could be a company that does rally. That being said, as its multiples are a lot lower than the likes of Apple or Microsoft. But Google has very good multiples, and hence that's probably why it's the only stock that's really trading relatively higher during today's session. So it will be interesting. I'll keep my eyes peeled on Facebook. But I am bullish here for the Nasdaq 100, but I don't want to buy at these high levels. I'm going to wait for a pullback towards at least a 50-day EMA. That's an area where I would be willing to buy. And personally, I would love to see a pullback even deeper down towards a 200-day EMA. And again, that's an area where I would love to put substantial amount of money to work.